YouTube, this is me, PK Bro Armaldo 7 here with a Lightsworn E-Dragons deck profile for you guys. And I use this deck in San Jose Regionals and I got like 50th place. So I'm just gonna show you what my deck is, what my build is, and what I use mostly. And let's get started. So to start off, I do 3 Luminas, which is really standard for Lightsworns. You know, Lumina, mill 3, and then you get to summon one from the graveyard, discard and all that. So that's really standard. And then I run 3 of each E-Dragon. Or I run 3 E-Dragons. I don't run Tempest because it's the lowest attack and it's also not the highest defense. So I decided to only run these 3, which is, it worked out for me really well. And I actually feel like I have a lot more consistency. And next, I run 3 Necrogardnas because, I pitch it with Lumina or I mill it and I get to negate an attack, so it gives me a little bit of protection, which is really nice for me. And then 3 Eclipse Wyverns, mill it or pitch it with Lumina or like some other stuff that I'll be showing you in my deck. I banish JD so that I don't mill it, and I summon it with the E-Dragons, and then or I banish these cards with the E-Dragons, and then I get my JDs to my hand. So that's really good. And then of course my boss monster, 3 JDs, really standard, just it's your Exciton Knight, because that's basically what it is, Exciton but better, and a 3k attack. Now I run 2 Card Troopers. I like these because it's redox targets and, mill 3. And it's a +1 if it's destroyed. Like, sometimes I summon this while I have JD on the field so I can blow it up, so I just get a +1, which I really like. And 2 Curry Bandits because, it helps me look at the top 5 cards in my deck. And I get to choose one spell or trap if I were to excavate it and end up sending it to the graveyard, which is really nice because I run a lot of spells. I run 7 spells and 3 traps, so it's not that many, and if I end up getting rid of them, that's a problem, so these help solve the problem a little bit. I run 2 Light Ray Diabolos because, just more dragon targets. It's got the banish effect for Wyvern and whatnot. I really like it. And it's level 7, so it can help me get like rank 7s, and I can also synchro with it, which is really nice. I run 2 Lilas just because pop back row. It's another Lightsworn target. I mill 3, so it's pretty good. I really like it. I run 1 Wolf because I used to run with 2, and I always dead draw this card. I do not like this card very much because I used to dead draw this all the time, but I changed it to 1, and I actually really like it. It's really good for me. It's another Lightsworn target, and back a long time ago, I used to use this to sack for Celestia, but I just took that out altogether. I run 1 Unknown Synchron because, I can still synchro with this deck, but, soon once the support comes out, this will be replaced with Raiden, Star Eater for days, but I use this Synchron, or this tuner specifically, and I'll show you why in the extra deck. 1 Honest, because, it's all lights except for some dark monsters. Really standard, it might change the game too. I run 1 Aaron, because it has that somewhat of a Grand Mole effect except with set monsters, so it really screws up cards like Ghost Ricks or like, just someone sets a card, they don't get the flip effect, so it's really nice for me. And then it's another Lightsworn target, mill 3. 1 Jane, it becomes 2100 if I attack a monster, and it's another Lightsworn target, so it's really good for me. I like that. Garroth, it can make me plus really hard because I do this triple Lumina play where I summon all 3 Luminas, and then I get Garroth out as the last Lightsworn from the graveyard, and I mill like I mill like 3, 6, 9, and then 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I mill 14, then I can plus really hard with Garroth, so I really like that. Raikou, because it's just another Lightsworn target. Flip effect, I get to mill 3. And yeah. And now for the spells and traps. one monster incarnation, pitch cost for either Lightsworn target, Eclipse Wyvern, or Necrogardener. Send them to the graveyard so that they're not dead in my hands, because they belong in the graveyard, that's where they're supposed to be. So I really like that. Charge of the Light Brigade, Lightsworn staple card basically. Another mill engine and search. Dark Hole, yeah, just so I can blow up the field if I don't have JD. Foolish Burial, so I could send Wolf to the graveyard and any other cards that I really need to, depending on the situation. 3 solar recharges, which I absolutely adore. I love solar recharge, but my problem is that I mill it a lot. So I'm still working on this, sort of. This is just the build I have right now that I've really enjoyed and I really like using. Torrential Tribute, it's another nuke, just like Dark Hole. In case I have nothing, I have at least this face down. And if my opponent just swarms the field with like a bunch of Heretics or something, just Torrential Tribute, then I'm like, yeah. And the last 2 cards are 2 Phoenix Wing Wind Blasts, because it's, target 1 card, it goes to the top deck, and then the pitch cost too, it really helps for Necrogardenas, Eclipse Wyverns, and even like a Lightsworn target, or even an E-Dragon if it's in my hand, so I really like that. And now moving on to the extra deck, I use 1 Beals, because, I run Unknown. This is the main reason why I run Unknown Synchron. Not only for even the Cyber Dragon effect of it, it's just Beals is 3k beat stick and it can't be destroyed unless you like deprison it or big eye it. So I really like this card. This card saves games, and I can summon this and then have JD out and nuke, and this will stay alive. Allied Justice Cataster, really standard. It's level 5, so that's actually really easy for me to get out, and its effect, so I really like that. Stardust Dragon, really standard. Staple synchro. 2 Crimson Bladers, because say I'm going against E-Dragons or something, if I destroy one of their monsters, then they can't summon anything else, and it helps me get a little bit of a lockdown on them, because I don't want them to get the advantage. And for the Xyz, I run 2 Fujinte Tsukuyomis, and there's a reason for this. I actually thought this card was really bad, and I was like, I tried it out, and I was like, this card saved me yesterday at locals, and I was like, oh my god, I actually won with this card, and I thought it was ridiculous. Its effect is actually not that bad for me. I really like it. It lets me +2, and if I have a handful of dragons, then I can send them all to the graveyard, and it won't be a big deal. As long as they're not JDs, that is. I run 1 Big Eye, rank 7 Xyz, staple Xyz basically. Lets me take control of their monsters, and so on and so forth. 1 Abyss Dweller, because, basically a staple Xyz, or at least that's how I feel. I really use this against E-Dragons. I can't stand, the mythic like build, and it's all in the graveyard, so it's like, if this is out, then they're just like done. Diamond Dyer, I really like this. Just another pop card, really. It's rank 4. It's really easy to get out. Since I just sold my Exciton and Dracosac, so I don't really run them in this deck. I don't really feel like I need to. Like, I already have my boss monsters in my deck, and I can run 3 of them. So I think that's perfectly fine. And then I actually really like this card, number 80, which, new Primal Origins card, but it's really nice because you can do it twice per turn, and it's got the DD Crow effect, and it's basically just a little bit of defense, like a little defensive wall that you can get out, and it's really good against E-Dragons. Like, that's all I have to say. Like, DD Crow effect, I really like that. And now for the side deck, I have 1 Unknown Synchron, because I used to run 2. I sided 1 out, and yeah, just, sometimes I mill this a lot, so I just decided to side it out for now. I have Tempest in the side deck, because sometimes I might need all 4 E-Dragons, but usually I don't, but, all 4 E-Dragons doesn't always hurt, so, I just have it sided for now. I got 2 DD Crows for, basically E-Dragons. If they have exactly 2 dragons, I'm like DD Crow, and then they can't get out their E-Dragon, so I really like that. Lightning Vortex, because it's another, like, monsters nuke, and it's got the discard 1 card, so, Necrogardener again, or Eclipse Wyvern. This card's really good. But I don't always run it, I just side it for now, so yeah. Right now I side 3 MSTs because, again, I often mill spells and traps, so if I mill like 2 out of the 3 MSTs, I almost might as well not have them. Like, yeah, that's just how I feel. I run 2 Beckoning Lights because, it's really nice. It's basically my Daigusto Emerald for this deck, except I have to discard my entire hand. But if I discard my entire hand, depending on what it is, it could be a major plus, or even maybe something, or not really, just need to get my JDs out of the graveyard or something. And then I run 2 Royal Decrees because I don't like a lot of spells and traps. And I mainly run these against, I mainly have these just for Geargias and E-Dragons because I don't like Skill Drain, then I don't like the heavy back row. So yeah. And then I side 7 Tools, Dark Bribe, and Solemn Warning. These are only sided because it's situational for me again. I mill them a lot. And, it's not always the best for me. And since I don't really have a problem with getting shut down, like getting all 3 JDs shut down, that's not really a problem for me. So yeah, anyways, that's my deck profile for you guys. I'd actually really like some advice on how to improve it, how to make it better, more consistent, or how you just feel about it. So yeah, let me know. Rate, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.